right, I'm going to turn it back to Jennifer, who is going to introduce our next company, BeSmartee.
Thanks, Diego. Thanks, Brian. That was a great presentation. Excited to hear about Rogora. BeSmartee is up next for us. Joe, welcome. Excited to have you all with us today. All right, let me give everybody a quick introduction, and then the floor was yours. BeSmartee delivers a complete digital mortgage experience that goes deeper into the origination process to help lenders convert higher and close faster, making a once cumbersome experience easy, fast, and transparent for lenders and consumers. Joe, take it away.
Thank you very much. Go ahead and share my screen. So at BeSmartee, we've been working on this for a while. We're actually the original founders of the modern digital mortgage. We started everything in 2006, had our business plan put together, had our product features that we wanted to bring to market. Then if we fast forward a little bit, we run into 2008, where we kind of decided to take a pause and wait for maybe circumstances to improve for an idea like this. So if we fast forward to 2014, we kickstarted development, and we've been running ever since. So a big thing at BeSmartee is, being different, and that's okay. We're definitely a little different, and that's okay to be different. So our goal is not to be part of the pack, but to separate ourselves from it. And recently I had a personal experience where I needed to fill out an application to get a pre-qualification for a builder that I'm going to be working with on my own time personally. So I decided, rather than going through one of, someone using our system, I wanted to go through maybe more of a regular application and kind of see just how different BeSmartee is. So I did the application. It was for a pre-qual. It seemed like a lot. It was a full 1003 minus the purchase address. So it took 5 out of 6 TRID data points. Going through the full app, there wasn't a lot of automation. When I gave authorization for a credit pull, filled out the application. When I finished, I got an email notification that said, hey, within 24 to 48 hours, we're going to run your credit report. I said, okay, I'll be waiting for that to come in before I can get a pre-qualification. Also gave me a message that said, your loan officer is going to be reaching out to you with maybe some extra steps to get your pre-qualification. I waited for a few days, got a list of to-dos from the loan officer, had my fiance upload all the documents. And then when I called the loan officer to confirm everything, she wasn't able to find the documents in the doc upload portal. Then I had to resubmit all the documents. And then a few days after that, she gave me the pre-qual. Whole experience took about 7 days to actually get the documentation that I needed. So at BeSmartee, we kind of decided the easiest way to predict the future is just to create it. And that's what we've gone out and done. So we're going deeper into the origination process. We're going faster. If I would have been on the same application, but with BeSmartee, I would have made it to an appraisal, within 15 minutes. If I was doing a full application, that would have been possible. I would have gotten to the appraisal in marginally less time than it took me just to get a pre-qualification. With our easy submission process, we get roughly a 91% conversion ratio with borrowers, and we're closing about 10 days faster than industry average. Now, those are fun numbers. It sounds maybe too good to be true. Let's go into how we're different. So a few key pieces here that really would have helped me out, on that same mortgage application experience are the ones we see here. MLO Command Center. This is a pipeline management tool for the loan officer I was working with. She made a comment to me. She said, I'm sorry, everything is going a little slower than normal. We had over 20 pre-qual applications land at the same time yours did. So the MLO Command Center has so much automation for the loan officer. I mean, she would have been able to manage my file, no problem. Would have been able to respond to me as I was going through the application. Borrower loan dashboard would have been a place for me to live out of. It would have automated all of those extra things I might needed to have included to get a pre-qualification. And I could have used that to immediately start uploading documents. And I can say I've never heard a report of a borrower uploading something in our portal and not being able to access it after they've uploaded it. And we can even go further than my pre-qual experience. We could have run pricing, run AUS, given me a conditional approval loan to choose from, even gotten into lights out disclosures. So I could have reviewed and e-signed all of my initial disclosures within that same application workflow that also would have automated my pre-qual letter. We actually can automate those in a few minutes. So it was interesting to have a week-long time process. Our MLO Command Center, just to go a little bit deeper into that, it's very powerful. It's really empowering loan officers to more or less clone themselves, manage more files at once. Pre-qualified 10 borrowers. That is something that could have been done without a lot of direct intervention from the loan officer. We don't want to provide the exact same application process that a borrower would have gone through filling out paper docs. Because I really did feel, and what I did with that online application, I think if I would have filled out a paper docs, dropped it off at the office the night before, I think it would have taken about the same time to do everything, manually run that credit, have the loan officer figure out what documents they need to generate this pre-qual letter. Then, send out the alerts to me, then I got to upload them. And after that's all happened, it's been a matter of days to do something that could have been automated in a matter of seconds. And great example of our MLO Command Center here. This is the login. This is the view. This is a borrower or a loan officer jumping in. They can manage their pipeline. They have an abundant amount of tools to do things like run credit, review application data, rerun pricing, AUS, and even in the correct circumstances, do a full pricing report, come back with conditionally approved responses for the borrower. The next is this borrower loan dashboard. This is another tool I mentioned briefly. Let me dive more into it. This is such a powerful tool for the borrower. It empowers them to do everything they would need to do all by themselves, from automating, initial underwriting conditions to giving them documents to sign, payments to make for the appraisal. Everything can be managed through this loan dashboard. Upload documents, and everything gets saved and pushed to whatever appropriate, maybe LOS where it needs to go to the appropriate e-folders to manage this file. And, our digital mortgage ecosystem, I mentioned previously, push the file into the LOS. So we're here to bridge the gap between all the vendor partners you might be working with. Our consumers, they would be directing or interacting directly with the loan officers, all within our platform. Our platform's going to make the jump to automate credit, verification documents, D1C products, push data to the CRM, push data into the LOS, as we can see here, making sure all the data is flowing back and forth as needed there. And, have reporting to make sure everything's running correctly, compliance is going good, and more or less audit the system. Now, no other platforms today can do lights out disclosures. And let me explain this real quick. A lot of vendors right now can do disclosures in their system. But the way I look at it is, what do we mean when we say lights out disclosures? What is our disclosures versus another group? And what I'm saying is within BeSmartee, a borrower could start an application, get through automated credit pull, go all the way to pricing, choose a conditionally approved loan, receive their entire full stack of initial disclosures, including intent to proceed, review that, sign that, then make the appraisal payment, then land on their loan dashboard and start uploading the relevant to-dos or initial underwriting conditions. That takes 15 minutes. So let's say in my personal experience, I had found my forever home. I wanted to fill out the application. In a matter of minutes, I would have made it farther than it took me, a week to get my pre-qualification letter. And I made comments on pricing running, borrower choosing a product. I know that can sound a little scary. So we display the relevant results to the borrower. We've created a proprietary pricing algorithm that will review all the available products and display the best products to the borrower. They can review their choices before making a selection. Now, this algorithm is powerful. I'm a dumb sales guy. Kind of seems like magic to me. It's actually just math. And that math is helping the system give the borrowers the information they need to self-serve. We're not necessarily living in a world anymore where filling out the application takes help from the loan officer. This is something the borrower can do by themselves. And just to recap the ways we're different, we're going deeper into the origination process. We're doing it faster, and we're doing it with the tools that we see here. Powerful MLO command center for the loan officers, giving them the tools they need to stay in one platform, manage more files. Borrower loan dashboard to give the borrower every tool they need to get through this process, by themselves if needed. Pricing, make sure that the results are coming back accurate, actually with the AUS approval, which is automated as well. Get those lights out disclosures. Borrower could self-serve through that. Could be 2 a.m, maybe they're a night owl. They could still get it signed and move on, all through our mortgage platform. And I think that's my time for the presentation. I can pause here, start answering questions.
That's great, Joe. Yeah, we've had a couple questions come in. So how do LOs communicate with borrowers during the application process through your platform?
Great question. We have multiple tools that we've built to help with collaboration and communication, instant chat features, automated notifications, and a very powerful co-browse tool that allows users to see the same page in real time, exchange controls back and forth, and they could go through the application together if it was a borrower that needed some extreme hand-holding.
And can LOs and borrowers view loan product pricing, and how does that work?
So they can. The product and pricing can go out, to the loan officer and borrower at the same time. Could be something they review together. Could be something that the borrowers I mentioned self-serve through, and then the loan officer reviews it after the fact in the MLO command center.
And then how does the data flow in and out around disclosures? And is that disclosure process automated within the platform?
So it is automated. That brings me back to the lights out initial disclosures. And we're doing a bit of, bridging the gap with a few vendors there. It's going to involve us. It's going to involve our integration into the LOS system, and it's going to involve the integration into a doc provider. We bridge the gap. We make sure that all the systems are triggering and firing as they need to. It's something where we do need a two-way sync with the LOS. As I mentioned, we have about 8 LOS partners with that two-way sync, and we're triggering things. We're telling the LOS to trigger things. The doc provider is sending the docs to us. And then obviously we're taking care of important things like tracking info and making sure the disclosures go to the proper place within the LOS.
So we've just had a couple more questions come in. Talk about why originators would choose you over bigger players like Blend or Roostify.
That's a good question. Why would we pick BeSmartee? We just automate further. As I mentioned, we go into the lights out initial disclosures fully automated. Right now, we're the only group doing that I've seen. Additionally, I've seen some outrageous numbers of loan officers using BeSmartee. Over 150 closed loans a month to a single loan officer is something we hit 1 or 2 months back. And a lot of that comes to this automation that we're bringing to the table, instead of just creating, an online way to kind of do what lenders have done for years.
And another question here, does BeSmartee have the ability to start an application based on borrower's info from a phone call and then send an invitation to the borrower to complete the application?
Yes, absolutely. All
right, well, we are going to launch. Oh, wait, one more just popped in and we have a minute. So
awesome.
We answer it. This is great engagement. Question is, are you from in Nevada? 775 area code. Your website indicates California.
Yes, I went to high school in Nevada, never changed my phone number, never really saw the point. We are located in Southern California. I operate out of Huntington Beach.
That's so funny. All right, we had a bunch more questions come in, but we are at time. So we are going to launch a poll and select yes if you'd like to hear more from BeSmartee. And Joe, I'd recommend just checking out the Q&A and the chat. You've got other questions popping in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.